record, and then I'll share my screen, and then we can get going.
Cool.
So, you been up to much today, or just chilling?
Today's been my chill day, bro. Yesterday was a retreat whole day event. So, and I didn't get good sleep last night, to be honest.
Retreat? What retreat was it? Did you go to?
It's called Frito. You probably haven't heard of it.
It's not in Hainault, is it?
No. It's a little.
Okay.
It's a guy on a boat that I love very much. He does a little retreat. So there was only like 5 or 6 of us, but it was really cool, intimate, self-improvement stuff.
Even that's better rather than a big group.
Yeah, it is, and I know a lot of the people
personal.
that go there. Yeah, it's nice not to go with new energies all the time, so you know people. So yeah, you should come to one of them, by the way.
Yeah, if I can, why not? Yeah. What was I going to say, brother? So your birthday, is it 20th of June, if I remember correctly?
You do, yeah, you remembered correctly, yeah, man, yeah.
20th of June. Do you know the time?
Yeah, oh yeah, sorry, 9:44 p.m.
Ah, so you're a night baby. And the year is the year of your birthday?
Yep, 87.
87. Right, and you was born, is it London you was born?
No, close though, Reading.
Ah.
I was born in Reading, yeah.
Reading, UK. Not that it makes much of a difference. London, Reading is next to each other, but...
I see, yeah.
Yeah, what I mean is if it's like in a total different country, then it makes more of a difference. Yeah.
So I learned from the event one, the timings makes a difference. I'm a night baby, so that means I'm more naturally introverted, does it?
Yeah, you're more of a deeper, go within kind of person, just naturally, just by knowing that. But then, yeah, let's get the chart up. Yeah, but looking at it straight away, you got both. You've got. Oh, what have I done? I've done this wrong. 1 second. Go back. I've done the time wrong because I've done 9:44 a.m.
Oh yeah, so it'd be 21.
21, yeah.
21.
Yeah, okay. Because when I looked at the chart, I thought, that's not right.
You knew, yeah.
Right. Yeah, because basically, but you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you've got a bit of half and half, which is good. Like you got some on the bottom and you've got a few at the top as well. So that's a good thing straight away because it means that you're balanced. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
okay, yeah, balance. That's good to be balanced, I guess.
Because what it is, if I was to show you my chart, all mine are all my planets are all in one section here. So because what you see, can you see these houses where it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? You see the houses, right?
12, yeah.
Yeah, so you goes round like from 1 to 12. Basically, each one of these sections are different areas of your life or different areas in life. So by you having all your planets spread out means that your energies are not all concentrated in one part of your life. They're spread out. So it means you can be more adaptable to do different things. Does that make sense? Rather than if all the planets were all jumbled up in one area, it means your energy would be more concentrated or more specific to one thing, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does make sense. I'm more, maybe I thought I was extreme. Maybe I'm more balanced than extreme, truthfully.
Yeah, because for example, look, I'll show you. Let me show you my one. Is it on here? Yeah. I'll show you my. Can you see, Harry, that my ones are all down here?
Oh yeah, look at that. And the top left too.
Yeah, but only a little bit up here. Whereas mine are all concentrated in one area. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That means I'm not as well-rounded in different areas of life. Whereas when we look at your chart, you've got one here, 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 here. It's a bit more, the energies are a bit more spread out. Does that make sense?
It does. makes me less of a master, maybe, because if you got a concentrated in one power, you're really good at that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah.
Oh, weird. I was thinking that. He
Sorry,
said
my
it for
brother
me.
just popped in. Yeah.
Perfect synchronicity, because he just said what I was thinking.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
popped
that's me. That is actually me. Yeah, I got.
Yeah, but that's a good. I like that. I like that energy. I think that's good because then that way you're not shy to particular things.
Yes.
Like, whereas mine are a bit like all having an orgy in one place, if that makes sense. All the
It
planets.
does, and quickly it makes sense to me because I go all over the place. I don't just stick to one thing. I just go anywhere, everywhere. It does make sense.
Yeah. So basically, what I'll do, Harry, is I'll explain to you what each one of the houses are briefly, or the concept of the chart and how it works, basically. So basically, your sun, can you see this round, this red circle with a dot? That's the sun, basically, and it's just under this line. So that means you was born just after sunset, basically. So
right.
Just above. So
isn't that interesting? That makes sense because 20th of June is the longest day, the second longest day, and it's always late in the evening. Yeah.
Exactly. So although, see, if it was a winter time and you was born at 9:40, for example, this red thing would be down here because it would have set a lot longer ago. Do you get what I'm saying? But like you say, because you're born in the summer, it only literally just set. The sun had only just set.
That's fascinating. So your sun sign is literally related to how high the sun is in the sky at that point, right? Is that correct?
But for example, if you was born 2 hours earlier, your sun would have been up. This whole thing would have been up here because this whole wheel is turning, basically.
Yeah.
So obviously, if you was born, just say a bit earlier, all this would have been up here. So then your sun would have been in a total different house. It would have been either in the 6th or 7th. But your sun being in the 6th house makes so much sense because the 6th house is about health and service to others.
Is it? Oh, that makes sense too. Yeah, it does.
So that makes so much sense to me. It's crazy. That's why I love astrology because when you know these little things.
Yeah.
So basically, your sun is your sole purpose. The sun in the birth chart is your sole purpose. And
your sole purpose, SOL.
Yeah, it's like your soul, like who you really are, basically.
Yeah.
So you're a Gemini because the sun was in the sign of Gemini, but the sun was in the 6th house, which is, like I said, health and service to others.
Wow.
Generally.
Mad.
It's a very because you see like how there's 12 signs in the zodiac. And there's 12 houses. Basically, each one of the houses relates to the sign. So the 6th sign in the zodiac is Virgo. So all the 6th house activities are all activities related to things Virgo would do. But because the wheel is constantly turning, any sign can be in any house. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Yeah.
So for example, like I said, if you was born a bit earlier, your sun would have been in the 7th house rather than the 6th house.
Got you. And if I was born in midday, it would probably be about
it would have been
12
about
or 9. Is
9. Yeah, because the midday point is this line here.
Got you. That's the midday point. The one on the left is sunrise.
Yeah. And this one's midnight, the one at the bottom, and this one's sunrise, basically.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's cool.
So I'll show you just to give you a bit more of an insight on because what I like to do, Harry, rather than me just telling you, I like to back it up with some notes so you can get an idea of what I'm saying. So look,
I love that. Yeah.
So 6th house, work, health, service, self-improvement.
Yes.
So that's where your sun is. So that's what you're all about, basically.
That's true, isn't it? Mad. Basically, I've aligned with my destiny. In one way of looking at it, I've really aligned with my true purpose.
Yeah. I mean, there's not a one that I've looked at and it's not made sense to someone. It's so crazy. It's just it's amazing. But let's go back to the chart.
Mhm.
So yeah, so the way I'll explain it is the sign, no, the house is the area of light. No, the house is what you're doing. No, let me start that again. Just the houses are the area of life. The planets are what you're doing in that area of life, and the signs is the mind state you use to do that thing, if that makes sense. So there's like three main components you have to look for in your chart is the house, the planet that's in the house, and the sign that the planet's in. So for example, like I said, your sole purpose is service to others and health, but the mind state you use in doing that is Gemini.
Gemini,
Because
yes.
your sun is in Gemini. So what's Gemini? Gemini is about communication. It's about learning. It's about being a student. It's about communication, intellect. It's about being the student basically. It's about learning.
Cool. Yeah, that resonates too. That's good.
So yeah, and the three main things you look at in your chart is your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign.
Cool.
Yeah. So what I'll do, Harry, I'll just quickly go through what each house means, and then we can go through each planet individually and what house it's in, and I can get into it in a bit more depth if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, so, definitely. Yeah.
Also, another thing I would like to explain to you is that you can look at the planets as like different personalities within you, because each planet symbolizes a different part of you. So, for example, the sun is your sole purpose and who you are at the core, like what you've come here to do, almost, or who you are, who you really are. That's what your sun and how you express yourself. Your moon is your emotions and how you react.
So my triggers too?
Yeah, it's more of an internal
thing. Yeah.
Mercury is how you communicate and how you intellectualize things. Venus is your partnerships and how you take pleasure and love. Mars is how you take action. Jupiter is spirituality and being charitable and being jovial. Jupiter is the same archetype as Jesus in the Bible. Jesus, it comes from Jupiter Zeus in the Greek.
Oh wow! Yeah, I didn't know that.
So all of these are like characters in the Bible, for example. Like Abraham is Saturn, Moses is Jupiter as well. Mary is the moon, for example. So all these things in theology are just allegories for different energies, basically. And also Saturn, the planet of Saturn is where you will learn lessons from in life. So that's almost like that. Have you heard of the saying tough love?
Yes. Yeah.
So the energy of Saturn is it gives us all an arse whooping, but in the end we'll learn a valuable lesson from.
I was just thinking of another one. You gotta be cruel to be kind sometimes.
Yeah,
maybe.
Exactly. That's the energy of Saturn. Uranus is the energy of thinking outside the box and rebelliousness. And then Neptune is the sign of intuition, basically. And Pluto, where is your Pluto's here? Yeah, and Pluto is the sign of death and rebirth. So basically, I've just gone through like the archetypes of what each planet is generally. So then but obviously I'll go through each one and where it is in your chart and what area of life it relates to. Cool. So we've done your sun. So your sun is in the 6th house, house of service of others and health and health and service to others. And also it also corresponds with like pets as well, like looking after pets and
interesting.
Yeah.
I haven't got any, but I'm gonna get some when I go to Portugal. I'm gonna get some pets. I love them.
So you've got so your moon coming.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
something's come on his screen saying calculator.
All right, Harry, can you bear with me for one moment, brother?
Of course, yeah, of course, man. Yeah, dear.
Wait a minute.
That's all right. Oh, right. Okay.
What is that? I thought so. You sitting on it or is it there? What is it going to show you? So you'll show him. So next time it comes up, you don't do it. Yeah? Of course, I'll press the exit on there. Yeah, to teach him to press exit when things pop up, will you? Yeah? Don't do it and not teach him. I'm not saying that.
Yeah. Yeah, cool, bro. Yeah, sorry about that, Harry.
Oh, no worries, dude. It's all good. Yeah.
Yeah, so where was I? What was I going to say? So, yeah, I've explained your sun.
Mhm.
So, yeah, your moon sign.
Mm.
So, your moon sign is in the sign of Aries.
Mm.
So, Aries is a very energetic action sign.
Mm.
Aries is ruled by the planet Mars, and it's the first sign in spring. So, it's a very explosive type of sign. So, your moon and your emotions.
My emotions. I was just going to ask you, what was that moon again? So my emotions, how I deal with life.
Yeah, it's just how you react to things and how you and your how it's almost like how you feel inside, if that makes sense. And yeah, so the sign of Aries is a very explosive sign. It's very energetic. It's ruled by Mars. They're kind of they're people that are known to be leaders in a way. They'll kick things off, if that makes sense. They're like the starts. They're like the starters of something. They're not necessarily good at finishing things, Aries, but they're good at starting things.
Oh, okay.
So,
that's good to know. Yeah.
And your moon is in Aries, and you also have Jupiter in Aries as well. So you've got a lot of Aryan energy, which is good. Aryan energy is very spiritual. Because another thing I forgot to tell you, brother, is that each one of these signs, zodiac signs, are ruled by a particular element. So you have fire, earth, air, and water. So each sign is attached to one of those elements.
Got you, yeah.
So the red ones are fire.
Fire.
Blue's
water, is it?
Blue's water. Green, they've done air for some reason, and earth is black. That should be the other way around, but it doesn't matter anyway.
Got you.
So, for example, what I forgot to, I'm just going to go back to your sun here.
Yeah.
Your sun is in the air sign.
I'm in air. Okay.
Yeah. So air is about intellect, and it's a very mental element. It's about thinking and calculating things, whereas the fire element is a bit more spiritual and intuitive.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a bit more of a
how do they relate in regards to the sun and the moon? Because I see they're on the outside of everything. Those the fire, earth, and so how would you tie them together? If that makes any sense. So the sun you said was in my sun sign is in air.
Yeah.
How's that air relevant to the sun in that combination?
So the way you express yourself would be in a very intellectual way, in a very airy mind way.
Got you. Basically. Oh, how I express my passion and purpose of health and service would be airy. Got you.
With your mind, it's very intellectual, whereas your emotions are more tied to fire.
Interesting.
According to the chart, obviously. I mean, I don't know how you resonate with that, but
I'm resonating with them. Yeah. I've had to think about them and resonate though. Yeah.
So, and it's in. Oh wow, that's really interesting. It's in the third house. Can you see that here? House 3. So house 3. It's really interesting because house 3, because Gemini is the third sign of the zodiac, and house 3 are Gemini activities. So what's interesting is that you've got your sun in Gemini, but you've also got your moon in the house that relates to Gemini. So you've got a lot of Geminian energy. Because if I show you house 3, house 3 is mental activity, learning, siblings, communication. So that shows me that you're a very passionate communicator. You like to talk and you like to express yourself.
Yeah.
Basically, and you do it in an Aries way. Also, I don't know if you're aware, but each sign is a part of the body. Do you know about that?
No, I don't actually. Apart from the one with that, I didn't really, because there was a lot of them, wasn't there?
Yeah, let me show you. So, for example, can you see this, Harry?
1 second, bro.
No, bro, no worries.
I'm just using a rifle at the same time. Do two things at once. But,
do your thing, man.
Okay, ready. Yeah, ready.
Yeah. Cool. So can you see, like, Aries is the head, Taurus is the throat, Gemini is the hands.
Hands, arms, and legs. Gemini. Yep.
So, for example, medically and biologically, wherever you have planets in any particular sign, that would also be concentrated in your body as well.
Right.
So by you being a Gemini sun sign means you're very good with your hands, or you use your hands a lot, because Gemini.
Interesting. I actually do when I talk. Yeah, use my hands. I'm a hands guy. Yeah.
Because Gemini is the hands, basically. It's also got the internal body. Look, I'll show you. So Gemini is the. Oh, let me move this over so you can see it. So yeah, it's the respiratory system in the internal part of the body.
And these are my most where my energy moves the most in my body.
Yeah, well, basically your sun's in Gemini and your moon and Jupiter are in Aries. So Aries is the head, face, and eyes, and internally it's the cerebrospinal and nervous system. So, for example, people doing medical astrology, I'm not a medical astrologer, but I just show people this as well, just to give them a bit of an idea of how it works, not just mentally and spiritually, but it works physically as well.
Yeah.
So, for example, if you have planets in any of these signs, that's where you will have, like, for example, Sagittarius is the hips and thighs. Someone who has loads of energy in that area will maybe have really big hips or strong thighs, for example. So if we go back to your chart, 1 second, let me move this up. Why is this not moving? Oh, here we go. So yeah, you've got a lot of energy concentrated in this part of your body, in the head, and your arms as well.
My hands, yeah, that's
hands,
good. Hands, yeah.
You also have Venus in the sign of Gemini, but it's not in the 6th house; it's in the 5th house. So the Venus is the planet of pleasure and partnerships. So you have it in the 5th house. So the 5th house is about artistic creativity, love, romance. It's about children. So the way you use your creativity, again, also in a Geminian way, but you also apply that to your partnerships and what you love doing, because Venus is the sign of pleasure, basically. So you take pleasure in being creative and artistic and expressive. Because look, I'll show you again. Sorry, the reason why I keep going back to these, Harry, is because I don't want people to think I'm just making all this up.
Yeah, I know you mean. No, you're not. Yeah, I like this.
So I'll go back to. So that's
romance, children, fun, creativity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got that. So you've got that side of you as well. All mine literally are all in this house. Literally all my planets. I got 5.
So you're really master at this area. I've got a little bit, you got a lot
Yeah.
in romance, children, fun, creativity. Interesting. So that's where I serve personal creativity, not daily creativity, personal creativity.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And also, you take pleasure because Venus is in this house. You love and take pleasure and like having partnerships with people in relation to this area of life. Because Venus is the planet of partnerships, basically.
Interesting.
So let me go back to your chart. So yeah, so we've done your Venus in the 5th house. We've done your Sun in the 6th house. We've done your Jupiter also and your Mars. Like I said, Jupiter and the Moon are in Aries, should I say? So we spoke about that. Aries is the head. It's very Aries is almost, is considered childlike, not childish. Childlike, meaning very enthusiastic and energetic, and
is it?
Yeah. So you've got your Moon and your Jupiter in Aries. So you've got quite a lot of Aryan energy as well as Gemini. So, and Aries and Gemini are two of the most energetic signs, and I really do see that in you.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? I do too.
Like you're very like fast. I can whereas I'm not like that.
Oh yeah.
I'm a bit more mellowed and chilled. I don't have no Aries energy. I've got a little bit of Gemini.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, because the Aries people are kind of like the babies of the zodiac, if that makes sense, because they're the first sign, and they're very energetic and thing. They're almost seen as childlike, if that makes sense.
Playful, childlike energy. Yeah, like
Because Santos is an Aries as well. Santos Bonacci, that's his sun sign, Aries.
Is it? Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, Jupiter is the planet of spirituality and, like I said, of being jovial and moral, and you do that in a very the way you do that is in a very Aryan way, and you do it, like I said, in the field of learning, communication, intellect. That's the area of life that your Moon and your Jupiter lies in that area. So again, like I said, this house, house 3, connects with Gemini as well. So you've got a Gemini sun, and then you've got your Moon and Jupiter in the house of Gemini as well. So you've got a lot of Geminian communicative, intellectual, mental energy from what the chart shows.
Interesting.
Also, you've got up here, this sign with the 6 and 9 is Cancer. Cancer is a water sign. So Cancer is a very the sign of Cancer is about home and your parents and your roots and your heritage. It's all that type of stuff, basically. That's the sign of Cancer. But you've got that in your 7th house. So the 7th house is about partnerships and relationships, and it's also about justice and the law. That's what the 7th house is. So let me go back and show you that as well. Just double check. Yeah, 7th house, marriage and other partnerships.
Other partnerships. Huh.
So in that house, you have the planets of Mercury, which is the planet of communication, and you have the planet of Mars, which is about action and war and passion. So within your relationships, you're very communicative and you're very active, but the way you do it is in a Cancerian way. So like I said, Cancer is the sign, it's ruled by the Moon. So it's a very motherly sign. So in your relationships, you come with a very motherly
Mm.
and a very nurturing mind state, basically. But the only thing that I would say is not good with that, each one of these planets, basically, they do really good in particular signs, and they do and they're not so good in particular signs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd love to know the not so good stuff too.
Yeah,
I'm loving it all.
So you have Mars in Cancer. Well, Mars in Cancer is not a good duo, if that makes sense.
Right.
It doesn't mean necessarily it's really bad, but it's just because Cancer is, like I said, it's a very motherly, very caring, very nurturing energy, whereas Mars is a very brash and abrasive.
You're like opposites, aren't they? Kind of opposite styles.
Yeah. So although you're very caring and you're very motherly and nurturely, the way you do it might come across a bit brash and a bit.
Oh man. Yeah, definitely real life for me. Yep.
Is that making sense?
Yeah, because my brain is I do have motherly energies inside me, and I like the idea of a bit of motherly compassion, but sometimes I know with people I do it the wrong way, a bit aggressive, so it does make sense.
Yeah, that's all it's saying. You're doing it with the right intention, but because this Mars is here, it's making it a bit aggressive, like you said, or it might seem a bit brash.
Yes. Yeah.
Basically. And also because it's next to your Mercury, which is your communication.
Yeah.
It might make your communication that way as well. Like you might be a bit you might say something quickly and think, because you've got your Mars conjunct your Mercury. Conjunct means when two planets are really close to each other.
Right. Yeah.
They influence each other, basically. It's like they come together and they form a blend. So you have your planet of action and passion next to your planet of communication. So obviously, because they're right next to each other, they're going to influence each other.
I see. When they influence each other, what does it mean, those two, in the amalgamation of the both?
So Mercury is communication and intellect and speech, and Mars, like I said, is action, passion, war. So it just makes you a very, very, maybe a passionate communicator or quite a brash communicator.
Brash communicator, yeah, that makes sense. A bit aggressive sometimes.
But in a way, by you having Cancer there is good, because what that shows me is that your intentions is good and motherly and nurturing. You want to do it for the right reasons.
Yes. There's a conflict there.
That mode of doing it is not the best mode for that mind.
No, but then maybe I can transmute it, because my core is what you said with the Cancer, that I actually have motherly energy. So maybe I can work a bit now that I know that I've got this action aggressiveness in my communication sometimes. Maybe I could learn to tone it down a little bit. And
also this correlates with your partnerships as well.
Oh, partners too.
Yeah, not necessarily partners like your girlfriend, just partnerships in general.
Okay, like friends, close friends.
Friends and general partnerships, basically. But again, Harry, like no one's got a perfect chart.
No.
Do you get what I'm saying? Because it's just all pot luck, really, where it all falls. Like you've got a weak Mars in your chart, so have I.
Do you? Yeah.
But mine's not in Cancer, mine's in Libra, which is in that sign. So let me show you 1 second. You don't mind me going back to the slides?
No, I like it. I'm learning. I like the way you're explaining it. It's really good. And people watching it's going to love it. The way it's explained is really cool.
Okay. Because I want to make it clear, like, rather than just going through it quickly and just kind of brushing it off. I want to show you how, you see how each sign has a particular planet inside it.
Yeah.
So that means that is where those planets are most comfortable at.
Okay. Gemini is Mercury.
Yeah. Gemini is Mercury, yeah. So if you've got your Mercury in Gemini as well, that would make you an extra Gemini, if that makes sense.
Oh, it's like a superpower when the planets line up
Yeah,
with their star sign.
with their homes, exactly.
Huh.
But for example, you see like how Aries is ruled by Mars.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, the signs that it doesn't do well in is always the opposite sign of where it rules. So if Mars ends up in Libra, it's like opposing its house.
Do you mean opposite directly in that sign thing?
Yeah,
They're
so
opposites,
if
aren't they?
Mars was in his sign here,
Yeah.
it wouldn't
Yeah.
be good, basically.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So depending on where particular signs are, they're more strength or less strength, or have less strength, if that makes sense.
Would you know if the Mercury Gemini is relevant to? Is there anything Mercury Gemini me in my chart that makes it a superpower? Probably not.
No, because your Mercury is in Cancer. That's
Oh,
what
I
I was talking about. Yeah,
got you.
your
Oh, I
Mercury
see.
is in this
It's
Cancer.
in Cancer. Yeah,
So-
I see.
So can
Yeah.
you see that Cancer is ruled by the moon? And I was saying that Cancer is a very nurturing and motherly sign.
Energy. Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
do you get what I'm saying? So
Yeah. There's a mismatch
That's-
there. It's okay. It's not like a
yeah, it's not a mismatch. Or yeah, the only place Mercury would be a mismatch would be in Pisces and Sagittarius.
Yeah.
That would be their mismatches. But see, my Mercury is in Sagittarius, so I have a mismatch when it comes to my Mercury.
I see. Yeah.
But yeah, and also let me just show you a pattern.
Mhm.
Can you see you got the sun and moon here? And then you've got Mercury either side of it. And then you go to the next ones, you've got Venus either side,
Yeah.
and then Mars either side, then Jupiter either side, and then
And Saturn.
Saturn here. So you can see there's an actual pattern to the way they rule. And the reason for that is because Mercury is always the closest planet to the sun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it will always, the rulers will always be next to the sun. So that's why it's here and here. So for example, your Mercury could never be directly opposite your sun sign, because Mercury is always next to the sun.
I see. Yes. Yes.
Does that make sense? So you couldn't have, like, just say for instance, you had you're a Gemini. It would be impossible for your Mercury to be up here or anywhere around here, because it's always next to the sun.
Yeah. Could be a Uranus or a Saturn. It's further away from the sun.
Yeah, the longer moving ones, each, because another thing, they all take a certain amount of time to go through the whole thing. Mercury is the quickest, Moon is the quickest, then Mercury, then Venus, then the Sun, then Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, then Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. But but that's being more astronomical now of how it works in the sky. But I like to add a bit of that in as well.
Yeah.
Cool. So let me go back to the chart. So we've done that. Okay. So what other planets have we got? So we've done your Mars, and we've done your Mercury, we've done your Sun, we've done your Venus, your Moon, your Jupiter, Pluto. So Pluto is the sign of death and transformation. And when I say death and transformation, I don't mean like in a literal sense.
Okay.
I mean like in an alchemical sense, like where, like a snake sheds its skin.
Yeah, or like a butterfly, I guess, caterpillar maybe. That stuff. Yeah.
Perfect example. Exactly. That is the energy of Pluto. It's about going to the deepest depths of your dark self, transforming it, basically.
I like that. Yeah. Oh, cool.
And you have Pluto in the sign of Scorpio, which Pluto rules in Scorpio. So that's a brilliant placement.
Really? Oh, cool.
Yeah, I have that placement as well. Pluto.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Scorpio is about sex. It's about alchemy. It's about because the reason why, because Scorpio, you see in the body thing I showed you,
Yeah.
Scorpio rules the genitals.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So it's a very sexual sign as well. So what this is telling me is that it's gonna be an area where you'll probably work on your sexual habits. Like you'll probably have constant death and rebirths, meaning that you're gonna learn new things from it.
Interesting.
Basically, it's a place, because Pluto is basically, the word for Pluto is transformation. That would be the word I'd give it. And you've got it in the 9th house. Oh, also, Scorpios the energy of Scorpio is very into like the occult and like the hidden mysteries of the world. Like Scorpio,
like yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about digging really deep. Like, to places that no one will ever go to. That's what Scorpion energy is. So you've got that you've only got one planet there, but you've got a strong planet there. So that's good. And it's in a good place. So that's a nice match.
Cool.
But most people around that age have this placement, because this takes a really long time to go through one sign even. So people, it might even be like 20 years in one sign.
Oh, wow.
So like people born within a 10, 15 year lifespan will have this same placement. So with all the slower moving planets, with all the slower moving planets, people born around the same time will have all the slower moving planets similar. But the faster moving ones will be in different places, basically, because they go through the zodiac quicker.
Oh yeah.
And you have your Pluto in the 9th house. So the 9th house is about spirituality, religion, philosophy, wisdom, higher knowledge, long journeys, about traveling. It's about traveling. So it indicates some traveling to far places and short places, because another thing I forgot to mention, house 3 is about short journeys. House 9 is about long journeys. So you've got planets in both of those.
So I could take a short journey, I could take a long journey. I like traveling far forward, near, both. Yeah. That's cool.
Because because another thing I forgot to mention, Harry, is whatever one house is, the direct opposite house is like its mirror. So for example, the first house is about yourself and how you look, whereas the 7th house is about your partners. The 3rd house is about short journeys. The 9th house, directly opposite, is about long journeys. So they're each house has its kind of yin and yang.
Yes. Yeah. Fascinating.
So that's another thing that I thought I'd put into there. So I was going to show you house 9. So house 9 is higher education, philosophy, publishing, religion, travel, law. So by Pluto being in that house, you're going to have constantly like almost new ideas in that area of life, because you're going to have constant transformation. With Pluto's in this house basically. But the way you're gonna do it is with a Scorpion mind state, because Pluto is in Scorpio in this house.
Which is that sexual energy, isn't it?
Yeah, Scorpio sexual energy, very deep, very emotional, very intense, because Scorpio is a water sign. Fire, spirituality. Air, intellect. Water, emotion. Earth, just solidness and being grounded. in very simple terms. I'm obviously being very,
Hmm.
but I'll show you. Here we go. There you go. You've got the. You can see like the main things for each.
Yeah.
For each.
So we've got air, Gemini, and Scorpio's water.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But you
But
also have
they're kind of
Aries.
like opposites.
Yeah, you also have Aries influence, which is fire as well. So that's good. You've got.
Do I not have Earth?
Yeah, you do. I think you have.
I was going to say, because if I
Capricorn.
didn't, I definitely don't think I don't think groundedness is my skill in
Right.
many ways.
Let's see. You've only got one, like me.
Because I was going to say I don't feel very grounded. I mean, that's one of my weaknesses, I'd say. So that's probably why then. Not many Earth.
Yeah,
elements.
you literally you only have one, which is Neptune, and it's not really an earthy. It's not, the planet itself is not a very earthy type planet. Neptune is. Do you know like who Poseidon, the water god, is?
I've heard of that name. Yeah, he was a god of water. You said water god.
Yeah. So Neptune is about intuition and spirituality, and it's about the third eye as well. It's a very dreamy energy. So that's in your first house, which is really interesting. So you might come across to people as maybe someone who's a bit dreamy and in their own world.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because that's the energy of Neptune, basically. And it's the first house is about your general personality or how people see you. It's not who you are like by core.
No.
It's basically your mask.
Oh, how people perceive me.
Yeah, and how literally physically how you look as well. And it's so interesting because your one is pointing to Capricorn. And Capricorn rules the bones. So people who have a Capricorn rising will have like quite a bony figure or quite a slim, tender figure. And I can definitely 100% see that in you. Lee's got the same rising sign. You and Lee.
Yeah, interesting that we have. Yeah, we're thin. Well, I can't put on weight. I struggle even when I eat loads. I remember.
Crazy. You both have exactly the same rising sign. Which is Capricorn. So Capricorn is about Capricorn's very hard-working people. So that shows me that you're a very hard-working, grounded, strong person. So but with your Neptune being in there, it might give it a bit of a dreamy state, but there's nothing wrong with that. It's just it's what it is. Do you get what I'm saying?
It's what people perceive me as.
Yeah,
dreamy.
It's not who you are.
Not what I am. No.
Exactly. So so you've got a Capricorn rising. So if I show you rising, first house, where are we? First house is appearance and outward personality.
Got you.
So your outward personality comes across as a Capricorn, but your sole purpose is you're a Gemini.
Yeah.
Basically. But also, let me read first house here for you as well. So first house begins the zodiac and covers all the first impression, the self-appearance, leadership, new initiatives, fresh starts and beginnings. The sign on the cusp or starting of the edge of this house referred to as your rising sign or ascendant. So like I said, your rising sign is Capricorn. So your three main things, you're a Capricorn rising, a Gemini sun, and an Aries moon.
Gemini sun, Aries moon, Capricorn rising.
Yeah, they're the three main things in the chart that kind of, are the most important, basically.
Yes. Yeah. And the Capricorn rising is more how other people perceive me.
Yeah.
Or was that?
But
not
personally,
really
I do see that in you because I think you are I can see that in both you and Lee. You're not
that's
lazy
funny.
people.
Yeah.
You just like to get stuck in and do work, and because Capricorn is an earth sign. And as well. So that's where your earthiness comes. So I guess by it being your rising sign kind of saves you, because it gives you that.
Yeah, the drive to do things all the time. It's cool. Yeah.
But when we look at your dominance now, Earth will be your weakest element, like mine.
Yes, and that resonates because that resonates. It'll be my weakest. Yeah.
So so we've done that. The only other two that we haven't done is you have Saturn in the 11th house. So the 11th house is about friendships, goals, and it's about social clubs. It's basically about your social life and your friendships. So by Saturn being there, tells me that you'll learn a lot of lessons and harsh lessons through that area of life of friendships.
Wow.
Your social circles, basically. Again, let me go back and show you. So 11th house, friends, groups, goals, and aspirations. So you have Saturn in that house. So like I said, Saturn is the Saturn's energy is about, it's very restrictive. The energy of Saturn, like we said, is the tough love guy, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah. Okay, got you.
So he's the one that's going to give you an arse whooping, but in the end, it will be worth it, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So, you have.
I mean, I give people, my friends, the tough love generally, or are they giving it to me?
No, not necessarily. Either way, really, it just means that you will get tough love in this area of life.
Oh, I see. I receive lessons of tough love from friends, groups, my goals, aspirations.
Yeah. Basically. And
well, that's true so far.
One second. And the way that you generally operate within that area of life is with a Sagittarius mind state, because you have Sagittarius there. So Sagittarius is about religion, philosophy, wisdom, higher learning. So they're that's the mind state you are around your friends and in your social circles, basically. You handle that area of life with a Sagittarian mind state.
Cool.
Which is very like spiritual and religious and philosophical, and like it said, long journeys as well. Sagittarius is about long journeys. But and also you have Uranus in the sign of Sagittarius, but in the 12th house. The 12th house is about karma and self-undoing. Again, let's go back to this and I'll show you. Solitude, institutions, transcendence, self-sabotage. It's basically the 12th house is you go into the deepest depths of yourself, basically. Because that's why it's the last one. It's the last house, basically, the 12th house.
Yeah.
In there, you have the planet of Uranus. So Uranus is about out-the-box thinking and being different and being, it's about not doing the traditional thing. You will do something that goes outside the box, for example, when it comes to your self-sabotage or transcendence, or go into your deepest depths to yourself to because the reason why is because you can look at your first house as so every time Capricorn comes is when it's your springtime, if that makes sense. That's the start of your personal cycle, when Capricorn starts, but the end of it is when Aquarius is.
Okay.
If I show you, look in the chart, not Sagittarius, sorry, not Aquarius, my bad, brother. Because you have Sagittarius here and then you have Capricorn here. So when the sun is in Capricorn is when your personal spring starts. basically, if that makes sense. You see how you have seasons like spring, summer, autumn, and winter? Well,
Yeah.
we all have our own individual ones, and that
Got ya.
depends on your rising sign.
Huh.
So wherever your rising sign is, will be your own personal. It's like the start of your new cycle, basically.
Is that a time of month then? For me, it's a different spring to other people.
Yeah. Well, we all have our own one, but depending on
Hmm.
where our rising is. So mine is in the summertime because I'm a Leo rising.
Right. Well, that's handy. So your spring is the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your spring is the winter when
Is
winter
it?
time starts. Yeah.
Ah,
So that's
interesting.
when this would be good time to start fresh,
Ah, cool.
basically.
Yeah.
Whereas this is another reason why people fuck up because they don't know their own personal cycle, and they'll go to start something and it might be the wrong time of their cycle.
Yes. Yeah. When you're least likely, it's the
Yeah.
opposite of when you should start it.
Yeah.
It could make it much harder. Yeah.
So for you, it wouldn't be a good idea to start things around here in Cancer, Leo time.
You mean in summer?
Yeah,
Summer.
summer, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Huh.
But it would be great for you to start things in the
Starting with
winter
winter.
time.
That goes
that's
with my
where
personality because I like to think winter's a hard time for everyone. There's no sun in the UK, but I always try and do more things in the winter
Yeah,
because of that. Like,
yep. Yeah, Harry, I've pretty much gone through it all.
yeah.
I mean, how would you say? Did you be honest with me? Like, how
Mhm.
accurate would you say it is, or would you like? How have you found this experience?
Okay, I'll answer the two questions. First of all, it's been shockingly, mind-blowingly, pretty much all accurate, and I can't think of one thing where I thought that's not true. The only things that I didn't know that, well, not didn't know that I was like, even when you went deeper with the winter thing as well towards the end, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah, everything makes sense. Everything you said really resonates with my actual personality. The friendships one
Yeah.
makes complete sense. Lessons, harsh, tough lesson. All of it has made complete
Yeah,
sense. And the way you do it is explained. It's really good. Really good.
To me, it's really made sense because I know
Because you
you
know me as well. I mean, I
little
know me, but the way you know me is, and I know me is, it's all true.
like definitely this Gemini, the communication thing here, the Geminian and the health and the service to others thing.
Yeah.
Spot on. And like the Capricorn rising, the way you look like.
Yeah.
And
Bit
even
dreamy, airy to other people. Dreamy, airy.
Also like the partnerships thing as well. And yeah, I mean, to me, like it's really resonated with me, like knowing you a little bit, but it's good that you've liked it as well.
I've loved it, brother. So just as well, just to remind myself, I'm going to get this wrong now. So I'm a Gemini sun sign passion. I'm an Aries moon.
Moon, yep.
Aries moon, and I've forgotten the third one. Sagittarius rising, is it?
Yeah. You see, when I send you the video, it's all here anyway. Can you see?
Yeah.
Yeah. So sun. Oh, but you don't know the symbol. They're the symbols,
Right.
basically. But yeah. So yeah, and also just to add as well, you see, you've got like these blue and red lines.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
They're called aspects. So the blue lines are harmonious angles between the planets, and the red lines are not so harmonious angles. But no one has got all blue lines. It's impossible. I've never seen a chart with all blue lines. So when there's only a red line when a planet is either 90 degrees away, like at a right angle, like I can see one here. Your moon is squaring your Mars. So, like I said, Mars is very like passionate and action, and your moon is your emotions. So they've got a 90-degree angle at each other. So they sometimes are at odds with each other.
Like emotions with my actions conflict sometimes.
That's what is showing here. And this long one is called an opposition. So basically, an opposition is when two planets are directly opposite each other in the sky. And that's considered bad because they're not letting each other's light shine. It's like they're blocking each other out.
Hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so you've got your sun.
My Gemini sun. Yeah.
Your Gemini sun is opposing your Uranus in Sagittarius.
Hmm.
So
What would that mean?
So that would mean that your out the box Uranus thinking clashes with the way you express yourself.
Got ya. Okay.
That's what. That's because basically they would affect each other, and also it's from the 6th to the 12th, so it's in the house of service to others and the house of karma. They're the two houses that are at odds with each other.
Interesting. Yeah.
So yeah, I just wanted to, when someone looks at a chart medically, they look at all these lines, for example.
Yeah.
So for example, because you've got a red line going to Aries and a red line going to Cancer, that might indicate, because Aries is the head and the nerve and the brain nervous system, and Cancer is the upper digestive system.
Yeah.
So again, that could
clash, innit?
Yeah, that's but I guess all the stuff you do, bro, you've probably overrid that.
I hope so, in a way. By the way, does the blue ones mean good, like superpowered, charged up in it?
Yeah.
Like,
the blue ones are 60-degree angles and 120-degree angles. They're the good ones. I'll show you. Look, I've actually got the just so you can. I've got the. There we go. So, opposition. So, an opposition or 180 degrees reflects planets on opposite points of the zodiac or approximately 180 degrees apart. This is considered a dynamic or difficult aspect. The planetary energies are polarized. Outer events stimulate their interaction. Integration is a challenge. So that's the two when they're opposite, basically.
Yeah.
Let's go back.
It's kind of the one that we're going to struggle with. We need to do the most work on if there's opposition. So to transmute it, you've got to work really hard.
So the conjunction is the two next to each other. You know, I showed you when there's two right next to each other.
Yeah.
So this implies that planets, whether transiting or natal, occupy approximately the same position in the chart. This is considered a strongest blend of energies and represented by two planets. So that's like, you can see like these two are right next to each other. This is just like a diagram to show you. And then opposition, is, which I read already, is the opposites. And then you've got the trine, which is 120 degrees, reflects planets in harmonious alignment with each other. This is considered flowing or relatively easy to handle. And the reason for that, Harry, is because when there's a trine, all a trine means that all the planets will be in the same element. So, for example, in this diagram, all these points are in fire signs. So they're all the same. Do you get what I'm saying? They're all
the same earth, fire, water element.
They're all the same element. Yeah. So that's why it's harmonious, basically.
Oh, cool. But you'd rather a conjunction than a trine. A trine's good, but a conjunction's really good.
Yeah.
Like, in a way. Like, that's cool.
Yeah, the square is 90 degrees or is considered dynamic or difficult aspect. The planetary energies conflict, internal and creative tensions, and bring rich rewards through effort over time. So this is where we're going to learn our lessons from, through these angles, basically. Yeah, so like a square is like a right angle, basically. So that's the and sextile is the 60 degrees represents 1/6 of a circle and is a flowing alignment. The planetary energies flow together, open into new possibilities and new connections. So I just thought I'd read you them just so you can get
very useful that.
Yeah, and the thing is with this, because I'm going to send it to you, you can look back at it and go through it and that.
Is there a question quickly? Is there any conjunctions? I mean, I can see, I think, some
Yeah,
conjunctions.
yeah, you've got one there.
Yeah.
You see, although you're I was saying about Mars not being good in Cancer. Good thing. Let's see how many degrees apart they are. So you got Mercury 16 degrees and Mars 19. Yeah, that's a conjunction. If they're 8 degrees is considered a conjunction if they're 8 degrees apart.
Oh wow, cool.
But any further, it wouldn't be considered a conjunction.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, you have your Mars and your Mercury conjunct, and I think you might have this conjunct as well.
I was just looking at that. That was the first one I saw.
Yeah.
Closer.
So Saturn, where are you? Saturn 17, Uranus 24.
Yeah, that's 7, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. So that would be.
That works too.
Yeah, that would be, and even your Moon. And
yeah, number 3. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. So Mars and Jupiter 19 and 24. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Huh.
So yeah, you've got quite a lot of conjunctions, which is good.
Yeah, superpower charge up.
Yeah, you've got a few sextile 60 degrees as well. You've got a trine as well. Yeah, you've got. That's what I'm saying. Every chart is good and bad. Do you get what I'm saying? It's just knowing what you can work on, basically. So like, yeah, the only thing I would say that you could maybe work on is the Mars in here.
Yeah. Yes.
And yeah, and obviously this opposition might be causing like some internal struggles, but again, in the end, it's going to be a good thing because we're going to learn from it, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it.
So yeah, so now what I'm going to do is we're going to go to your dominant elements. So your dominant element is actually fire, like mine.
Oh wow, cool.
40% of the planets are in fire signs. 14 Earth.
Very 18, low. We knew that was going to be low, didn't we?
18 air and 25 water. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess the only one, what you need, like mine, you've got too much of the fire, which maybe you need to spread out to these other ones, like me as well. Exactly the same. So that's crazy. Our dominant elements are really similar.
Similar, yeah.
Yeah, my Earth is 10%.
Is it even lower than mine? Wow.
And and my Earth my Earth is 10, and my air and water are like roughly 23, 25 each. So our one's actually, our dominant is really similar.
Very similar. Interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, and you have something called a signature sign.
Yeah.
Which is, I forgot to explain to you what bloody cardinal, fixed, and mutable was, man. I'll explain that to you. Because that is interesting. Makes sense. Right. Can you see there's four quarters here, 4 sections.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Well, each section has 3 signs. Each season. So this is spring, summer, autumn, winter.
Got you.
So you have cardinal, fixed, and mutable in each season. So what that basically means is beginning, middle, and end.
Right.
So cardinal is the first sign in a season. Fixed is the middle sign of the season. And mutable is the last sign of the season, last mode of a season. So cardinal, like I said, is like, they're like action leaders. Fixed are a bit stubborn, stuck in the middle. And mutable energy.
Good enders?
Yeah, they finish, they're the
finish the job.
Yeah, and they're mutable, they're good with different people. So depending on what signs your planet's in, what it does, it gets the most, it picks the element, the strongest element all the planets are in, and then it picks the strongest mode out of cardinal, fixed, and mutable. So if we go back to your one, you have your signature sign is Aries, because you have 5 planets in cardinal signs and 4 planets in fire signs. So then cardinal fire is Aries. So then you have like a signature sign basically. So, and you are quite Aryan as well, because you've got 2 planets in there as well. So yeah, so there's that as well. What else have we got? And yeah, and that's pretty much it, Harry. Like in a nutshell, unless you want to ask me anything.
No, I mean, I've been asking as I go along the questions, and this has been a real revelation. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to rewatch this for me many times over, because I did listen the first time, but this needs to be what you said.
You're not going to catch it all the first time.
No, it was a lot of information, but amazing, and my mind's been blown. And I think it's just all truth. I can't deny anything there. I can't.
Also, another thing I forgot to mention to you. You see these horseshoe symbols? They're called the North Node and the South Node. And what they are is, let me just show you quickly online what the North and South Node is. I should have a diagram of it, but okay, North Node, South Node. Images. Let's pick a good one. Right, here we go. Right, so you see, you got see this straight circle. That is the sun's orbit. But the moon's one goes diagonally. But can you see that they cross?
Yes, the 2 points they cross, right?
They're called the nodes, basically. So one of them is called the North Node, which means when the moon's going up, and the other one is the South Node when the moon's coming down. Basically, these nodes are basically signify what you did in your past life and what you're here to do in this life.
Cool. And
also another thing to mention to you as well, when the sun and moon meet at these points, that's when eclipses happen. Basically. So every time in the real world, every time there's an eclipse, the sun and moon will either be here or here next to one of these.
I got North Node or South Node is eclipse.
You can check it in the chart, literally. You can go get dates of the eclipse and check the chart, and you will see that either the North Node or the South Node will be right next to the sun or moon every time there's an eclipse. Because basically what's happening is when they're meeting at that point, it's like they're cancelling each other out. It's like if that makes sense.
Yes.
That point, it's like they're sparking out almost. It's like, which causes the eclipse.
Because they're like opposites, the sun and the moon, and they cancel each other out when they come together. The opposites come to a neutral balance, cancelling.
Yeah, but it has to be at one of these points.
Yeah.
Because the sun and moon can always be opposite each other, but only when they're at these points is when it causes an eclipse, basically.
Yes. Yeah, and I guess as you come closer to the South and Out node, they're not touching, but they're closer. Then the energies are not completely cancelled out, but they're coming less extreme and opposite, more balanced.
Yeah.
But as before they touch.
Because basically, the way you get a full moon is, so just say your sun is in Gemini. So the way you'll get a full moon is when the moon is in the direct opposite sign, which will be Sagittarius. That's when you'd get a full moon, when the sun and moon are directly opposite. That's how you get full moon, basically. Because obviously the sun's light is shining on the moon a lot, which makes it full. But in your chart, in your past life, you had a lot of Libran energy, which was about balance and justice and partnerships. But in this life, you have an Aries. In this life, you're here to be an Aries, which is get up and go and let's have it.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah.
So yeah, you're always, and these 2 points are always opposite each other as well. These 2 like horseshoe symbols, the nodes. So yeah, that's another bit that I thought
Oh,
I'd
from what you just said, then is the past life always opposite to your present life?
yeah,
If they're always opposite?
yeah.
Huh. That's interesting. Huh.
If that is really true, again, see, although I'm an astrologer, obviously we can't. There's no way of me proving that. But
No.
in relation to this, that's
Yeah.
how it supposedly works. Do you get what I mean?
Yes. Makes sense. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot more detail I could go into. Like, for example, um, you you see, each sign has 30 degrees. Basically, each star sign is 30 degrees. There's 30 because the sun is in each one for 30 days, and it travels 1 degree a day.
Yeah.
So depending on what degree it's in also makes a difference, for example. So a Gemini, so you're a Gemini born right at the end of Gemini. But
Yes.
if the Gemini was born right here, then he would be
Yeah.
a different kind of Gemini because
Ah, really? Yeah.
each 10 degrees
Yeah.
is ruled by a different energy. So what they're
Right.
called is
Yeah.
deacons. I'll show you that as well right now.
Hmm.
So deacons, where are you? Yeah, here we go. So you can see there's 1, 2, 3 sections in each sign.
Mhm. Mm.
So where are you? You're Gemini. So yeah, you're third deacon. So you're a Gemini Aquarius. Yeah, because the way it works is each one of these sections correlates with the other sign of the same element. So, for example, someone born in the first 10 degrees of Gemini will be a Gemini Gemini. Someone born in the second 10 degrees of Gemini will be a Gemini Libra. And then someone born in the last 10 degrees of Gemini will be a Gemini Aquarius.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So this is like getting a bit deeper and adding
Yes.
more complexity to it. But
I'm on the cusp of the end of Gemini, so I'm a Gemini.
yeah,
Gemini. Right.
no, you're a Gemini
Oh, no.
Aquarius.
Gemini Aquarius. Okay.
Yeah. Geminis are the ones born in at the beginning of first 2
beginning.
days of Gemini.
Oh, got you. Okay. Huh.
Yeah. For example, let's go to so you're this one, third deacon from 11th of June to the 21st. So I'll read it for you. It says the third deacon of Gemini is the most detached and unemotional, yet most humanitarian of the Gemini deacons. These people are great with concepts and ideas and relates to every kind of person easily with their sociable and friendly attitude. They soak up knowledge of every kind and seek a combination through the breadth of learning and some personal vision. Whereas the Gemini born in these two is slightly different.
Yeah.
Basically. So again, this is just you can break each section down with astrology. That's the thing. It goes so
very deep, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And like let me see if I can just show you some other things that you might find interesting. Do you know about like the cell sorts and all that? Have I told you about that?
No, Nicholas Shazano mentioned them briefly. I don't know about them entirely, no.
So the way that this works is basically because we're in our mother's womb, each sign has a mineral attached to it. But because we're in our mother's womb for only 9 months, we're all deficient of three of the salts. So you being a Gemini, the salt for Gemini is potassium chloride. But then again, you're born right at the end of this, so you probably do have a lot of this in you. So you would be deficient in potassium chloride, calcium fluoride, and magnesium phosphate. So you're deficient in the salt relating to your sign that you're born in and the two after.
Two after them, huh?
So we're all deficient in those 3 things, basically. So for me, I'll be calcium sulfate, silica, and calcium phosphate would be my ones because I'm born in November.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. This is more of a medical, and also
Yeah, so you can give those salts to yourself, knowing the
Yeah.
three that you're deficient in.
and you can also do it through like particular foods, for example. So like the foods that are good for Gemini, where's Gemini? Gemini, yeah, cucumber, peanuts, hazelnuts, lentils, spinach. Ignore the pork.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, but yeah, for example, and then yeah, Cancer. Yeah, so then you could kind of top up on them salts by eating particular foods as well. And also next to it, it has the cell salt, the physical symptoms of these deficiencies. So let's see, for example, so Gemini would be second stages of fever, coughing, Eutysian tube blockage, and white mucus discharges.
Sounds bad. Second stage of fever, coughing.
So yeah, so that's that. Let's see what else I've got to share with you, to show you. I'll actually, what I'll do, Harry, I'll just go through my slides, and if you want to read them, you can just pause them and read them.
Oh, cool. You can read them out, I guess, as you go along. And
yeah, let me go. Let's go back to the beginning 1 minute and see. Yeah. Oh, also another thing I forgot to mention. I could say that for 3 years with astrology. Another thing I forgot to mention.
Like 3 years later, oh yeah, still here.
Is each sign. 1 second. Oh, yeah. Each sign has like a one-liner or motto to it, for example. So Aries is I am, Taurus is I have, Gemini is I think, Cancer is I feel, Leo is I will, Virgo is I analyze, Libra is I balance, Scorpio is I lust, Sagittarius is I see, Capricorn is I use, Aquarius is I know, and Pisces is I believe. These are almost like easy way to learn each. It's like almost a summary of each one with one word, if that makes sense. Or
yeah, your personality, I think. Yeah. I'd like to think. Yeah.
So your main ones, you had Aries energy, I am. You had Cancer energy, I feel. You have Scorpio energy, I lost. You have Sagittarius energy, I see. You also had Capricorn rising, I use. So yeah, so they would be like your main ones, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's see what else there is. I'll just go through them all actually. Yeah, this is just the sine wave. So this is like spring, summer, autumn, winter, and then it just repeats spring, summer, autumn, winter. Yeah, same, just spring, summer, or it's just the signs. I've showed you this one, the ruling planets. This is the body, how it connects with the body. The elements as well. Yeah, this one also you can read a bit about each one. Yeah, this is, I mentioned the cardinal fixed immutable thing.
Yes, yeah. So I think 1 second, I think someone's knocking my door. 1 second. Mehmet's reading my astrology. Do you want to say hello quick? Say hello quick. Yeah, okay.
Hello.
Hi there.
Hello. Hi.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
You remember Sabrina messaged you for astrology? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm next.
No problem, sister. Let me know when you're ready.
It's been amazing so far. I'll show her the recording of this that we're doing together. It's been really cool.
Thank you so much. I will leave you.
Can I
stay or not?
Oh, can she stay while you don't? Yeah,
Okay.
if you're up for it, bro, because actually he's going through the yeah, go on, let's do both.
I'm just gonna come back in 2 minutes because I come back from a sweat lodge and I'm so thirsty. And I come to listen to your style and I'm very curious.
No problem, sister. Whenever you're ready. Yeah, we'll be here. We'll be talking anyway.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. All right. See you in a bit, man. Cool, man.
So, what I was going to say, Harry, is you see, I mentioned there's cardinal, fixed, and mutable, and there's particular elements as well. So, for example, each element has a position in each one of the modes. So, for example, you have 3 fire signs, which is Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Although they're similar in the sense that they have the same element, they're in a different mode. So that's what makes them different as well. So, for example, you see Aries is cardinal fire, but Leo is fixed fire. So although they're both fire signs, they're in different stages.
So cardinal will start the fire, and fixed sign is the fire's ongoing.
Yeah, the fire's ongoing, and Sagittarius, the mutable one, is when the fire's going out, basically.
It's going out. Oh yeah, I see.
And you have that for each single element. So you have cardinal Earth, Capricorn, fixed Earth, Taurus, and mutable Earth, Virgo. And then for water, you have cardinal water, Cancer, fixed water, Scorpio, mutable water, Pisces. So then you can see as well, although 2 people might say, oh yeah, we're both fire signs, but which they will be similar, but also they'll be different because there'll be different modes of fire or earth or water.
Yeah, like the beginning, middle, or end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that part of it. I thought I'd add fear as well, just to add on. Yeah, that's again the same one. Yeah, this is just apparently each sign corresponds with a musical note.
Wow.
Again, I'm not too knowledgeable about this, but I have the slide, so I just kind of include it in there as well. What else have we got? Yeah, this is just showing you like Aries 1, Taurus 2, Gemini 3. Again, it's got the like cardinal Earth and fixed it, like what each mode and element it's in. Yeah, this is just how the actual birth chart works. So I showed you this at the beginning. So you have horizon, midday, sunset, and midnight.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
So that's just that. Yeah, these are the houses which we've already gone through. Yeah, this is the body. What each part of. So let's see what your ones were. You had Aries, so you got a lot of energy in your head.
The head and hands.
Yeah, Gemini and Cancer as well.
Oh, the lungs, wasn't it?
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
And Scorpio, and so these 3 down here. Yeah, it's like the upper. You've got this. It's like this section and this section.
The lower and the top, and not the middle.
Yeah. Yeah, 1 second, brother. 1 second. Yeah. Sorry, bro.
Oh, no worries, man. No worries.
That's what happens when you live in a house with loads of people.
I know how you feel. Same here.
but what's good about this this chart here? It shows you the outside functions and the internal functions as well. So on the outside, Gemini is the arms, shoulders, lungs, hands, but inside is the respiratory system. And that makes sense because Gemini is an air sign. It all connects, man. Trust me.
Yeah.
So what else have we got? This is each planet connects to particular parts in the body as well. So, for example, the reason why the sun connects with the heart is because the sun rules Leo, and Leo rules the heart. So, and then that's why, like, Venus rules the throat and the kidneys, because Venus rules Taurus and Libra. The throat is Taurus and the kidneys is Libra. So that's how they've made the correlations, basically. Yeah, this is a wheel which has quite a lot of info in it. It's got cell sorts and it's got what parts of the body, and it just goes around it. It's got the chakra system in it as well. But this is a 12 color one, because apparently the original one is 12 and not 7.
12 chakras originally.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Huh. Is it orange Gemini predominantly?
Yeah.
Orange chakra.
Yeah.
Third, the child. Yeah, I think. Oh, I think it's on there as well.
Yep.
The words.
Yep. So that's that. This is really interesting. This basically is, you see, I was talking about degrees, and each section split into 3. Each sign is split into 3 sections.
Yes.
Well,
yeah.
For example, your
I was at end of Gemini.
Yeah, so your one corresponds with speech. Your sun, where your sun is, corresponds with speech. So if your sun was in the first
Gemini, lungs,
lungs or smell, for example. So this is how people do medical astrology. They might look, if there's a planet in any one of these particular sections, it might be, or the aspects, the bad aspects, the red lines.
Yes, exactly.
If any of the red lines are going to any one.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, close it, it's cold. Yep.
Yeah, so
sorry, bro. Sabrina's coming in. She's going to come listen. So should we just wait 1 second?
Yeah, no problem.
Hard. What is that? Oh, it's noisy, but you can close it. Go on. Oh, wow. Yeah. You can even hold this while you're doing it.
This way. Yeah.
You can use this one.
And which program is that?
Depression, I think.
Do I look depressed?
I was using it for me.
It's working. Yeah. All right.
So basically, depending on where you have like bad aspects or good aspects going to in particular parts of these signs, you will have like maybe problems with that part of your body in medical astrology. So for example, if you had a bad aspect and you had a planet in this part of Taurus, it would deal with your throat. Whereas if you had it in the first part of Taurus, it would be with your nose. So you can see that each deacon corresponds to a specific part of the body. So this is like the more medical side of it. So like, for example, you can say, oh, where's my sun? It's in this and this degree. So like your sun is in 29 degrees of Gemini. So like I said, it's in this section here. So that concentrates on the area of speech specifically. And then obviously everyone's is different depending on where they've got planets. So for example, you had 2 planets in Aries, right? Let's check what degree they're in, and then we can see which one it correlates with.
Cool. Okay.
So for example, your Aries, your moon is in 28 degrees of Aries. So if we then go back to Aries, that would be this last deacon. So that would correspond with concentration. So then if it's a bad aspect, if there's like an opposition there, that might cause some issues with you being able to concentrate, for example. But that's only if there's a bad aspect there. It don't mean just because you have a planet there, you'll be bad at concentrating. It's only if there's a planet directly opposite or squaring it. So it just depends on everyone's chart. It doesn't mean just because you've got something there, you will have that illness, or do you get what I mean?
No, exactly.
So yeah, that's more of the medical side of thing. And also, each planet connects with a particular element in the periodic table. So the sun is gold, the moon is silver, Mars is iron, Mercury is mercury, Jupiter is tin, copper is Venus, and lead is Saturn. And they also correspond to the days as well, the days of the week. I don't know if you was aware of that.
No, not at all.
Yeah,
I think I was born on a Sunday too.
Yeah, so yeah, that's gold. That's the
Gold,
element
so.
of gold. Mine, I'm born on a Friday.
Could be linked in with the urine, couldn't it? The gold.
No, you just took the words out of my mouth. Literally, I was thinking exactly the same thing. Because it is like, it's crazy, bro, how it all syncretizes. Literally,
Yeah.
it's mad. But yeah, I've showed you this, the cell sorts, which is I'll explain to the sister as well. What the cell sorts are, sister, is for each sign there's a mineral that's connected to it. There's 12 minerals, but because we're only in our mother's womb for 9 months, we're all deficient of 3 of the salts. So,
Does that make sense?
so what sign are you, sister?
Capricorn.
Capricorn. Okay, so you'll be deficient of calcium phosphate, sodium chloride, and ferrum phosphate. They will be the 3 you will be deficient of. So then you can find foods with those things in them and eat them. You can also get the tablets for each one of these as well, and just have them as well. Yeah, and these are the foods for each sign. This is just that each planet has a particular energy. So, for example, Saturn is cold and dry, Jupiter hot and moist, Mars hot and dry, Sun hot and dry, Venus cold and moist, Mercury cold and dry, Moon cold and moist. So that also adds a bit of element to reading. Like, do you remember when I said to you, Saturn's a very restrictive planet?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's because it's like cold and dry. It's not expansive. Whereas the Sun is the total opposite to Saturn. It's hot.
Yeah, and it's far away, Saturn.
Yeah,
Saturn quite far away from it.
That's Saturn and the Sun is Jesus and Satan in mythology, basically.
Yeah, yeah. Saturn's evil, isn't it?
Yeah,
Sun.
exactly.
Yeah.
So the Sun would correspond with Jesus, and Saturn would correspond with Satan, so to say. But one is about going in as well, which is Saturn, because it's the darkness. Saturn's about nighttime and darkness. Saturn rules the night, whereas the Sun rules the day. So you can also learn it through that concept as well. You missed the chart reading part, sister. I'm just going through my notes just to show him at the moment.
But then you must do it with him. You're gonna love it when he gets around to doing it. Oh my god.
These are just the phases of the moon, like the different phases and what they're called, basically. This just shows that in another thing, again, this is a bit more astronomical rather than astrological. This is nothing to do with a person per se. This is more to do like with the general world. And this is just to do with how in different ages, there was different rulers of the earth, basically. So we're just coming out of this age and we're going into the age of Aquarius now. So they're saying that's going to be ruled by the Slavic people, supposedly. But it makes sense with the whole Russia thing that's going on. But
oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But yeah, this is something I did myself. Is I watched a program about how the roulette wheel is based on the zodiac, and then I just kind of married them together.
I didn't know that makes sense though. 360 roulette wheel.
Yeah. Yeah, because you know how I said each sign is split into 3 sections.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
36 deacons, and this has 36 numbers as well.
Ah, look at that. Yeah.
Oh, bear with me a moment. Yeah, this is the deacons I was talking about. I showed you earlier. You know how they're all split into 3 sections, and depending on where your sun is, each section is different. For example, what else have we got? Yeah, this is a lot of writing stuff. Let's go through this 1 second. Yeah, I've showed you all this, haven't I? The conjunctions and all that. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, that's pretty much it, really. But let me just show the sister of how a chart looks and what.
Yeah, sure. Go for it. Get bad. Yeah, of course.
So yeah, this is Harry's chart, sister, and basically all these coloured dots here are planets, and all these round the side are the actual signs. So then, depending on which planet the sign is in, it will create a particular energy. And depending on which house it's in, can you see where it says 1, 2, 3, 4, and it goes round to 12? All those sections are different areas of life. So, for example, if you have loads of planets in the 4th house, it will mean you're a very homely person, because the 4th house is about your home and your family. So if you have planets in your 10th house, it's about career and your public and politics. So mean you're very public orientated person. So depending on where your planets are, will tell you what areas of life that you'll be good and weak in, basically.
And mine are very spread out. You said there's not one in any particular one. I'm kind of spread.
It's good that Harry's ones are all spread out, because means that he's good in very different areas of life. Whereas if they're all in one position, it means that they're just all concentrated in one area. So it's good that all of his are all spread out, basically. And I was explaining to Harry that the 3 main things in your chart is your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign. So your sun sign is your sole purpose and who you are. Your moon sign is how you are emotionally and how you react. And your rising sign is how you look and your general personality. It's almost like your mask. It's not truly who you are, but it's how people perceive you. So Harry has a Gemini sun. So his sole purpose is to be a Gemini. Emotionally, he's an Aries, and physically and the way he looks, he's a Capricorn. So yeah, I'm being very basic because I've gone over all this already. I'm just showing you briefly how I do it. But obviously, how long did we do the reading for? About an hour?
Oh, we're an hour 40 minutes.
Yeah, but
the actual reading bit.
Yeah, it was probably about an hour and 50.
That was about an hour, yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, so yeah, but obviously, sister, depending on what time we're born, we've all got a total different one of these. They're all unique. So yeah, I just thought I'll explain it to you briefly and how it works. Is there anything you'd like to ask?
So the reading, maybe I could watch the reading if you send the video, if it's not too personal, of course. So I can see
that's up to Harry.
I'm happy for you to see my reading, of course. She's my friend. We're good friends. And yeah, of course. And I'm going to share it on YouTube anyway. So, of course.
Oh, wow. Okay. You're very open.
Because she knows me, you see. So she'd love to see, and all my close friends, it's nice to see if they correlate. I mean, I resonate completely what he said about me. It'd be nice for you to know mine, if it resonates with you too. Pretty well.
Yeah. So, yeah, have a watch of it, sister. And if it's something you're interested and you'd like to get your own one done, just let me know. If not, no hard feelings either way, really.
Yeah, I'm quite interested. So in divine time, I will probably have a personal reading for myself too. Yep. It's been quite a while. I haven't seen anyone who can read the energies. And yeah.
No problem, sister. Whenever you're ready, just let me know and we can go for it.
Awesome.
Cool. So yeah, Harry, that's pretty much it, brother. Unless you wanted to ask me anything else, or
no, I was asking in the moment, and the questions that I was interested in. I think it's amazing, brother. I really appreciate this. I'd ask you the favor to when you're free, you don't have to rush it. Send me the on WeTransfer or whatever the full thing, and I'll put it up on YouTube eventually in the next few days. And send me that meme too. That'd be nice to have on. So I can do a Facebook story on it too.
Oh my yep. Okay.
The one Elaine posted of you, yeah, it'd be nice.
Yeah, no problem. I'll do that. Let me just stop sharing the screen for now. Yeah, and yeah. So just or like what I do usually is just send me your email, and I'll just send you the video via email. That's how I usually do it.
Oh, it can do it for email. I didn't know you could do that. Mate.
Yeah.
Okay.
On Google, yeah, I'll do it.
Google Drives, is it? Okay, got you. I can do that. That's even easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, well up for that, brother.
Yeah. Literally, when we're done now, send me your email, and then I'll send it to you directly.
Oh, okay, appreciate it, brother. So thanks for that very much. It's been amazing. And lastly, if you ever want to come here for ride treatment, you're more than welcome.
Yeah, thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
All of my friends can use it, so.
I really appreciate that. You've already done me a favor, so I really appreciate that, man.
Oh, no worries, man. It's been amazing. I love your reading. I had one with Giorgio's. I'm not going to compare too much. I just say that I preferred your style. Everyone has a different person they prefer. Okay. So I really like the way you explained it. It was really cool.
Yeah, no problem, brother. Yeah, I always like to use the slides, like I said, because I don't want people to think I'm just making it up. Because a lot of this stuff, if you're not familiar with it, it could just sound like mumbo jumbo.
Yeah.
That's why I always like to go back to the slides so I can show you what I'm saying is correct.
Yes,
rather than me saying it. Do you get
it's a great teacher that does that.
Also, it gives you like a visual concept of it as well, rather than because sometimes when someone says something to you and you're just thinking about it, you start thinking. But if you see a visual concept of it as well, it kind of
the memory goes in deep as well.
So it gives you more of an understanding of it.
Yeah, 100%.
So what I'll do is I'll stop recording.